Welcome to From the Chair, where better health starts with better conversations. I'm Charlene Shirk, and today we're talking about a dental solution that can completely change your life. Full mouth dental implants. Now, if you have ever felt like your teeth or your gums are too far gone, our guest today is here to tell you there is help available. Joining us is Dr. Blake Vidrine, the owner and founder of Louisiana Implants and Dentures. Dr. Vidrine, so glad to have you on From the Chair today.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here. I think this is a conversation that really matters. There's a lot of people out there that have bad teeth, broken teeth, dental issues. They don't have confidence. And I think they just don't know that there are options out there that can make their life a lot better and really give them hope.
Now, I know you've brought some incredible before and after pictures, but before we get to that, I want to talk a little bit about, people use the term full mouth reconstruction, right? So we want to talk a little bit about, actually, what does that mean? And then it also goes by a couple other names. So kind of walk us through what that means and what it entails.
Yeah, so there's a few different names, all on X, all on 4, hybrids, teeth express, teeth in a day, and they're all basically referring to the same thing. It's a set of dental implants that anchors the teeth in place so that they don't move around and that you can basically use them just like natural teeth.
Just like natural teeth, that's what you want, right? So what's involved in this procedure to get things just like natural teeth?
So the procedure involves a set of dental implants on the top or the bottom, or both, that anchor teeth in place to get those natural teeth, or that natural look with teeth that stay in place. You can eat whatever you want, you smile, talk, laugh. The teeth aren't going to move around. They're not going to fall out. They're not going to come out at dinner. You don't have to take them out every night to clean them. You clean them just like normal, brushing in a water pick. It's the closest thing to natural teeth, and it's for people who have bad teeth, broken teeth. They just have had dental issues their whole life, and they want to get back to normal where they can just live a normal life and not have to worry about their teeth.
Now, you did mention it sounds like, you get it and forget it, but a lot of other folks have things like, the snap-on dentures or the traditional dentures, and they end up in your office because those things are just high maintenance. Let's talk a little bit about the difference between the full dental implants and then these other things that people are using.
Right. There's a big difference between each of those options. Your traditional dentures, they leave a lot to be desired. They look okay when you're smiling and maybe when you're talking, but they don't really stay in place. They don't have anything to hold them in place. So they can move around, and they give people a lot of issues. It takes a long time to get used to, and there's always a lot of limitations to what you can eat. You can cough and they can fall out. It can be embarrassing sometimes. So
Nobody wants their teeth coming out.
Nobody wants their teeth coming
out.
Honest. No, especially when you're out with other people.
No, or even worrying about that happening.
Right. It's always on the back of your mind, even if it doesn't happen. It can happen, and it can really affect confidence. And a snap-in denture is a little bit better, but it's at the end of the day, it comes in and out as well. You have to take it out at night and clean it. There's a lot of maintenance involved, and you still have it in the back of your mind that it can come out, and it just isn't the same as when you have teeth that can stay in. It's really the differences between walking and driving a car to work. There's a really big difference in functionality, in comfort, in usability overall.
Well, when a patient is sitting in your office and you're talking about the difference and the benefits and the options, they do tend to lean towards, because some of them come in with full dentures, right? Some of them come in with problems, but some of them come in with a full mouth of teeth, but yet sitting down and speaking with you about some of the challenges they face, they end up choosing this alternative.
Absolutely. It's just a much better alternative, much more functional. It's just one less thing to worry about in life. You don't want to sit there thinking about, are my teeth okay? Are they moving around? Are they fitting right? It's not something you want to think about all the time.
So let's talk about who would be a good candidate and who would benefit the most from this alternative.
So really anybody with any kind of dental issues, broken teeth, bad breath. They've had a lot of dental work done. They feel like they're always chasing their tail with dental work. One thing breaks here and there, they patch it up, and it feels like that's never going to end. Anybody with bone loss. I hear all the time that somebody's been told they don't have enough bone for implants. That's not always necessarily true. Diabetics, you don't have to be in perfect health. Implants will still heal and work great. Smokers, it still works in them. You might hear things about that, but it works great in those patients. Well, we still recommend you don't smoke, but you know, people still will, and that's okay. It'll still work just fine. Sometimes people think age is an issue. I hear that a lot. I'm too old for dental implants, and it's just not true. You're never too old to be able to eat and smile. The oldest patient we've done is a 96-year-old, and we've done all the way up to people in their 20s. If you need the treatment, it's still a good treatment. It doesn't matter what age you are. And the best thing about it is that it happens really quickly. We can do all that from surgery to getting teeth in just one day.
Solve all those problems, make all those problems go away in one day.
Just one day, that's all it takes. Our process is really refined. We have the systems for it. Everyone knows their job, and it's just what we do.
Okay, now I do have to ask, we listed all the people who would be good candidates and who would benefit. Is there somebody who this would not be a good procedure for?
It's very rare. It happens on occasion. For example, somebody who had cancer in their jaw, maybe they had a lot of radiation treatment in their jaw. Maybe other options might be better, but that's few and far between. It's really rare. Bone loss, there's almost always enough bone to do implants.
Because people hear that a lot. They have bone loss and that they wouldn't be a good candidate, but in most cases they would be. So I think the first thing they need to do is come in and have the conversation, right? To find out, to talk to someone like you and learn about the procedure, learn about whether or not they would be a good candidate, not a good candidate. So let's talk about that process, okay? Take me from step one. First step, I come in the door. Maybe I make the phone call.
Yep, the first step is always the hardest part, because people are afraid of the unknown. They don't know if somebody's going to answer the phone when they make that phone call. They don't know if they're going to be nice. They don't know if I'm going to be nice. They've never met me before. So it's the hardest part. And once people come in the door, our main priority is to make them feel comfortable and confident in us. We want to get to know them and know what their needs are before we start planning treatment. I don't want to plan somebody for a full mouth if they just want to work on one tooth that's bothering them. We want to cater to every patient's needs and make sure that there's communication between us so we can meet those needs and that they feel comfortable with us and confident in our treatment.
That's so important, because you don't know what you don't know, right? And in your mind, you start coming up with all of these things. And the first step is sitting down, having that conversation with someone who's going to really put your needs first. So I've had the conversation, and now I want to take the next step. What does that look like?
Sure, so we'll review your x-rays. We take a 2D and a 3D x-ray. I'll go over those with you, tell you what I see, tell you kind of what treatment I think you may need, and then we'll talk about, what you think and what you feel comfortable with doing. And at that point, we'll make you a treatment plan. We'll go over that. We're fully transparent with cost up front. Even at our complimentary consult, it's completely free. So you'll get the full breadth of information about what you need and what your treatment looks like without paying us anything.
Okay, so I've decided I'm moving forward. What does that look like? Because sometimes people are a little apprehensive, right? So what's the procedure process?
So the first step is always planning. We bring you in, we take pictures, we take more scans. We want to plan your new smile before we ever do surgery, because failing to plan is planning to fail. It's super important. That's really the most important first step to make sure that you get the smile that you want, is that we have that communication beforehand and we know what you want before we go into surgery. And
so surgery, the planning, the teeth, everything is all done under one roof. So what is the benefit to having it all done in one place at Louisiana Implants and Dentures? Besides the convenience of not having to drive everywhere and make a million appointments.
Yeah, that's a big thing. People don't want to go to the oral surgeon and then back to your office. And then I've seen it before. I have a patient right now that she went to an oral surgeon and then went to another office, and now she's having an issue and the two doctors are arguing about whose fault it is and who's supposed to do what. So that's a big benefit at our office is I do both things. I put the implants in and I put the teeth on the implants. So I'm responsible for everything, and I'm going to make sure that we take care of everybody and there's not going to be any pointing fingers. Another big benefit of doing things in-house, we have a lab right in our office. We make our teeth, so we have control over that process. We have direct line of communication with the lab. A lot of other offices will just write on a piece of paper what they want from the lab and send it in, and then they get back whatever the lab interprets from that piece of paper. So I'm always talking directly to our lab techs. looking at our final products before we give them to the patient to make sure that we have control over the process to get the outcome that we want.
Which makes sense now when you say we can get it all done in one day, because if it's all under one roof, that does make sense that you've got that efficiency built into the system. But let's talk about all done in one day. How is that possible?
So it starts with the planning, like we said earlier. We have to know where we want to get to right from the beginning before we actually start doing treatment on the patient. And then it's our systems. We have them nailed down. We know exactly what we're doing. Every person in the office has a certain job and is really good at it because they do it all the time. This is treatment we do all the time. So we have it really refined and know how to get the results that we want efficiently and accurately all the time. So that allows us to do things more quickly while still getting that great final result.
Now, this all sounds great, like a smooth process. I'm sure the minute they come in, they realize you're a lovely person and they're very comfortable with you and they're comfortable with the entire office and the whole team, but that is still that dental anxiety, right? Like, no matter how nice you are, if I'm nervous about something, I'm still going to be nervous about it. What do you do? What's the approach to help people? Because maybe some of these folks are in the situation because they've had dental anxiety before, right? So this certainly is a big scary mountain for them to climb. What can you do to ease those concerns and fears?
Yeah, you're exactly right. I would say probably every day that I haven't been to the dentist in 10 years just because I'm scared.
Sure, yeah, you hear about that all the time.
Yeah, now things have gotten put off for a long time and they're in a place that they don't want to be in, having broken teeth, bad teeth, and they don't know what to do. So, like I said earlier, make them comfortable first. Get to know them, get to know their story personally and what they really want to get out of treatment with us. And then once we move forward into treatment, then we have some really great options to help ease anxiety, like sedation and things like that, to really help them get through treatment.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that a little bit more, because that's the part, nobody wants to go into this procedure and probably even know what's happening. Mm-hmm. And then there's kind of the what do you do to ease the pain too as well? So walk me through that for those folks who are apprehensive. This is what they want to know.
Yeah. So being comfortable during treatment is really important, and that's really the most scary part for all of our patients. It's another one of those unknown things. I don't know what it's going to be like. I don't want it to hurt. I want to make sure I'm relaxed during the procedure, because it might be, it's not a 10-minute procedure. It takes a little bit of time. So I want to know I'm going to be comfortable throughout that time. So we have a couple of different options. We always numb our patients first. Even when we do general anesthesia, we numb our patients' gums. So even while they're sleeping, they're comfortable. That's step one. And then we have different options like nitrous, laughing gas. It works good for a little bit of anxiety. We don't do it for the bigger surgeries usually. That's for smaller things if you need a single tooth implant or something like that. But then our options for the bigger surgeries are we have a pill. It's similar to Xanax, Valium, makes you really relax. And the best part about the pill is most people forget the entire procedure. But for those patients that have a lot more anxiety, they're a lot more scared, some are just terrified, quite frankly, then we bring in a CRNA and we can do general anesthesia with our patients. Sometimes we can even intubate them, so we have oxygen running the whole time. It's extremely safe. We've got the CRNA monitoring them the whole time, so I'm not doing two things at once, trying to sedate a patient and work on surgery at the same time. So we're both totally focused on what we're doing. It's extremely safe. Patients stay really comfortable, and we've had really good experiences with that.
Now, do you remember any of it when you wake up? I gotta ask.
You don't remember a thing, definitely, with the general anesthesia with the CRNA, and most people with the pill don't remember anything at all. It's rare that anyone remembers anything.
Let's talk about the recovery process, right? Because this is, in some cases, like you mentioned, this is a major procedure. So what is the recovery process like?
So it's important to set the stage at the beginning. I tell patients, remember, this is still surgery. It's like having surgery on your leg. There's going to be some soreness. There's going to be some swelling. So we do a lot of things to mitigate that. We give patients pain medication. We do antibiotics. We do steroids if we need. We do everything we can to make those first few days really comfortable for the patient, because that's really the worst time is right after you swell up. There's a lot of soreness. But that goes away pretty quickly. I'd say within a week, people are feeling pretty good, about 75% back to normal, and then at 2 weeks, 90 to 100% back to normal. If you're just getting one tooth, one single implant, I mean, you can go right back to work right after.
And any major procedure with the next 2 days are the days, right? Those are the days you got to take it easy, you got to rest, you sit in your recliner chair, you binge some Netflix, like you take it easy, you recover. What about, you mentioned, there's a little bit of soreness and tenderness and stuff about eating, and folks want to, a lot of these folks getting these new teeth are ready to eat, to jump right back to that corn on the cob and the steak. So how are we easing into that?
So it's a version of a soft diet, we say. I kind of equate it to if you get a knee replacement or a shoulder replacement. When you wake up from surgery, they get you out of bed and get you walking on that knee replacement. So it's similar in that sense. You don't run right away with the knee replacement, so we have some limitations, but we want you to use them a little bit. We call it the plastic fork rule. I say anything you can eat with a plastic fork is fair game. So you can eat a lot of normal foods. You don't have to blend your food up or anything like that. Spaghetti, meatloaf, things that aren't hard to chew, you can still eat. And we want you to eat those good foods because it's going to keep you healthier at the same time.
Right. So what is going on during that time period? Because even though we walk out of there with a smile, that's not our permanent smile, right? So what's going on between the time we get our new smile, our temporary smile, and then the couple months it takes to get the permanent smile? What's going on in our mouth, and why do you choose to give it that time?
So a couple of reasons. One of the first reasons is that your bone is going to attach to those implants over those few months while you're healing. Initially, the implants go in and they're tight in the bone, but they're not fully healed with the bone actually grabbing onto them. So that's one of the big things that happens over those few months. Also, your gums are going to swell, and then they're going to shrink after, and everything's going to stabilize after a certain amount of time. And sometimes those gums will shrink under the teeth where it doesn't fit tightly up against it anymore. And that can cause some food getting stuck and things like that. So we want to make sure everything's stable before we make the final teeth. There's other places that'll make final teeth in 24 hours the next day. There's an issue with that, is if you get that gap, it can be a problem because then you need new final teeth, and you might have to pay for new final teeth. I don't know what they do for that situation. It can be really difficult. And also, what if they deliver your final teeth and you don't like them? Do they have to make new ones? Or that's the benefit of a temporary. We can make adjustments, we can make changes. That way we get to the final product that we know you already love before we even make your final teeth.
I feel like that approach is right in alignment with what you said during our initial consultation and when we work with you. We want to know what you want, what's going to be the best thing for you.
Exactly. It doesn't matter what I like. It's about what the patient likes. I want to make sure that the patient loves their teeth. I like a lot of different kinds of teeth, so it doesn't really matter what I like. We've made teeth with gaps in them before. We put gold teeth on our implants. We put even diamonds before. We can do all those kind of different things. So it doesn't really matter what I prefer. It's all about what the patient wants.
And you have changed a lot of smiles, however they want them, but you've also really changed a lot of lives. Talk a little bit about these just amazing transformations that you see, and not just that's coming from somebody's smile.
Yeah, the physical transformation is obvious, but that's only part of the story. I mean, the emotional transformation in people is oftentimes much bigger than the physical transformation. A lot of times, ever since COVID, I see people wearing masks all the time. And I get people who come in with wearing masks and they say, I don't want to come out in public. I'm just wearing it to cover my teeth.
They're still wearing the mask.
Still wearing masks.
The COVID mask.
Yep.
Oh, goodness.
And it's, they're like, they say all the time, I'm ready to get out of this mask so I can go out in public again and I can smile again. It really changes people's lives when they have a good smile and when they can go out to eat with their friends and not have to worry about teeth coming out. They can go on a job interview. It can make their career better. It really changes your life in every aspect, not just your physical transformation.
It is finally time, my favorite part, to look at the before and after pictures. And I know you're going to want to technically tell us everything that you did, but I also want to know the stories behind the people, because we talked about the transformation, and that's also just as incredible as the difference you make in their actual smile.
Absolutely. Like I said, it's really life-changing. So let's start with Mr. Joey. He is actually an electrician that owns his own business. So that was one of his big reasons for wanting to come in. He said, I can't walk around like this as a business owner. He's missing some teeth. You can see in his smile. He's only got 3 front teeth really, and you can see gaps when he smiles. He said, I just can't talk to people like this and expect them to want to do business with me if I don't really look like I take good care of myself.
And you think about that impacts your income. That's a big part of your life.
Absolutely. It was a big deal to him. He also said he was having trouble eating, so it could knock out a couple of different things for him that would really help his life improve.
Okay.
So we took out his top teeth, put some dental implants in. He actually wanted to hold off on the lower. He said, let's break it up into phases because I think that would work a little bit better for me. So we were able to do that, and we had a really great transformation for him.
Oh, look at him, Mr. Joey.
A really great smile. He was thrilled about it. Totally changed his life. He said he's been doing better in business. Has more jobs, and he attributes it to himself. He's more confident.
Sure.
He can do more things for people because now he'll talk and smile and just be more personable with them. And he can eat better now too, which was a big bonus that wasn't even his main priority, but just something that came along with it.
Sure, he's celebrating all his new jobs with a nice steak.
Absolutely.
He looks like a polished professional. Who else's life have we changed?
All right, next we have Mr. Aubrey. So this is a great case because he had an upper denture and he just wasn't happy with it. It wasn't fitting good. And actually, as far as dentures go, I thought it actually fit pretty good, but he just realized that there's limitations with that kind of prosthetic, no matter how good it is, no matter how well it's made. It's just not the same as teeth that'll stay in. So he wanted something that would stay in place, that he could match to his bottom teeth, because he had some good bottom natural teeth that could stay in that he could still use. So he said he wanted to eat almonds. So we wanted to see if that was possible for him.
He's a healthy eater. Well, and then you bring up an important point that you can also match to existing teeth. So you're not going to have something that doesn't look right.
Absolutely. And he also had quite a bit of bone loss because he had been wearing a denture for years, and that tends to make your bone shrink.
Oh.
But there's a lot of techniques and things that we can do now that will mitigate that, and you can still put implants in and have a really great result, just like this.
Look at that.
Yep, same hat, same guy, new smile.
His eyes even look brighter in this picture.
Yeah, we see that a lot when people come in. They'll dress up more because they know they're going to get an after picture. They're just excited and ready to live their new life with their new teeth, be able to eat, smile, don't have to worry about their teeth anymore. And it's just really life-changing in a lot more ways than just the way you look.
And it looks so natural. It looks absolutely natural.
Yep, that's part of the custom process. We want the teeth to look like your teeth, not just like nice teeth. We want them to fit your face. They should be proportional to the size of your face. We do a lot of smile design steps to make sure that they fit you and they're not just generic for everyone. All right, and then we have Miss Mary. This is one of my favorite cases. So she came in with some broken teeth, some missing teeth, especially in the back. She had broken another tooth recently and said, I'm done with it. I keep breaking a single tooth. I've gotten root canals and crowns, and it just seems like, today it's this and tomorrow it's going to be the next tooth.
And you had mentioned that. Sometimes people are just always kind of chasing their tail with trying to, one procedure after another. And that's expensive and it's time consuming and it's just frustrating, I would imagine.
Yeah, we see that a lot. And eventually they just get to the point where they say, I'm done with it. Now I'm spending all this money and I still can't eat like I want to, or I know I'm going to wake up with a tooth that's hurting me tomorrow. And I'm just tired of dealing with that. So this was one of those cases, and she had some loose teeth too, and was just
over it.
She was over it, absolutely. So we were able to do a
Look
top
at
and bottom.
that. Look at that.
And just a really, really great result.
She looks amazing.
And this is a good example of when somebody knows they're getting their final teeth, they want to dress up, look good, they know they're getting that final picture, and just really excited about it.
She got some great hair too. I gotta shout that out. She's
got
some good hair.
She does. And she's a really great person too. She was a dream to work on. Was always just really nice, knew what she wanted, and we were happy to work with her. All right, and then we have Mr. Bill.
Mr. Bill.
He's like family to us. He uses the Keurig in our office more than anyone.
Comes for coffee.
He'll come in, get a coffee, talk to our staff. Yeah, I'll go tell him hello. He even brought his girlfriend in a while back to meet me.
He's got a new girlfriend.
Yeah, so that's what this kind of treatment can do for you. So he was a little bit of a difficult case too, and he wasn't really sure what he wanted when he came in. He said, I need something. I know I need something.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want implants. I don't know if I want dentures. So we kind of went over all the options. And then he came in, and I actually thought he wanted dentures, and we started working on that. And he said, no, I want implants. So he said, but I just want to start with the top for now. So we did the top. He comes in only 2 weeks after surgery, and he said, okay, I really like it. I'm ready to do the bottom. So only a couple weeks later, we did the bottom, and we really got a great result out of it.
Oh my goodness. Look at him.
Just a really great guy, changed his life. He talks about how he can go to his favorite restaurant again. He hadn't been able to go to it in a long time.
And you said he brings his girlfriend by for coffee too?
He does. He's like family. He really is. He comes in all the time. Just saw him recently. I mean, he's doing great. Everything's holding up really well, and it's just a great case overall, and a guy that we were really happy to treat.
Oh, I'm so happy for him. I'm so happy for all of these patients who really come in unsure, and like you said, but some of them are sure, some of them just are over, they just sound frustrated, right? They're just not living their best life. So for the folks who may be still apprehensive out there, give them your best speech that you do in your office about how this is so doable and how much you know this is going to change their life.
Yeah, the hardest part is taking that first step. Once you get in the office, we're going to talk to you, find out what you need, and really make a plan that's catered to you. We're going to work through all the financing things. We utilize insurance as much as possible. A lot of times we're able to max out people's insurances, so it helps some. And we split up the payments so it's not all up front. And we have some really great financing options that help a lot of people split it into affordable payments instead of one big bulk payment so they can pay it over time. I know it's not cheap treatment, but it's worth it, and we have options to help you get through that.
I mean, the electrician, you said it's helped his income.
Yeah,
right? So
absolutely.
Sometimes it impact your career and your income. So this is really, that first step that they take with you is really the first step to a much better life.
Absolutely. Getting that confidence can change your life in a lot of ways, not just how you look. It can change how you feel and just change how you live your life.
And they got a girlfriend.
Yeah, girlfriends, new jobs, it'll do it all.
All right, so how do we get a hold of you? How do we start this conversation?
You can find us at louisianaimplants.com on our website. Call us at 225-308-8000. We got multiple ways to schedule a consult. You can call, you can text, you can schedule online, you can walk in if you want. We will get you scheduled and see you. So taking that first step, it's the hardest part. Completely free consult. It includes the x-rays. We'll make you a treatment plan. You can come to the office and never come back again, and we won't hold it against you. Just take that first step and just give us a chance to talk to you and figure out what your needs are.
And now, are some of these pictures on the website and all this information on the website? Because sometimes, like, a lot of folks want to do their research, they want to read up on it, they want to be prepared before they make that call.
Absolutely. We have pictures on our website. We've got testimonial videos. We've got informational videos that I've done about the different procedures. We even put pricing on our website. So our website is the best place to start because we want to put a lot of information on there and be as transparent as possible so you can get a head start on what you think you might need and the information you might need to know.
Dr. Vidrine, thank you so much for joining us, and congratulations on all these amazing success stories.
Thank you, Charlene, and thanks for having me.
Well, you've been watching From the Chair. I'm Charlene Shirk, and until next time, keep smiling.